Welcome back to Sold Out Sports Talk on AFR Talk. Roman Gabriel III, your host, thanking you as usual for coming in every Saturday night, 8 Eastern Time, 7 Central Time. You can join us for 1 hour of faith, family, and sports as we talk to outstanding athletes, coaches, individual sports, team sports, guys that get it. Faith, family, and sports is what we're all about. And you can catch us, of course, on our Facebook page. It's 2 separate words, Sold Out, where we've got a lot of great role models, a lot of tremendous extreme athletes in pro football, baseball, basketball, covering all sports. So you can send your children, your young people there for a great deal of entertainment and education and an opportunity to talk to others about the world of sports as well as the world of faith and Jesus Christ. And that's our goal, is sharing the gospel message and getting it out there to this next generation. And my guest coming in on Sold Out Sports Talk tonight is a guy who does exactly that. Roger Matzke is a youth pastor at the Sanctuary in Orange County, not too far, a stone's throw from where I grew up out there in Southern California. And they have an exciting ministry, reaching out to the next generation, aggressively, passionately giving the gospel message and seeing a lot of young people get saved, a lot of young people being impacted, and that's something we got to do. And I love his quote, Pastor Roger. He says, "It takes a generation to change a generation." And we just want to welcome him in. Roger, thanks for coming in. Roger Matzke, youth pastor, Sanctuary.
Yeah, great, Roman. It's great to be on the show, man. Great to take part in what God's using you to do there. And just, excited to be with you today. God's doing some great things here in Southern California.
You know, I love that quote, Roger, because it says it all. It takes a generation to change a generation. And one of the things that we talk about at Sold Out is, you know, there are Band-Aids out there, and a lot of times, you know, youth are getting Band-Aids. They're, you know, we're talking to them about not doing drugs and alcohol. We're talking to them about being better students. We're talking to them about being excellent in their life. But the one thing that is missing, that's out there that we've been talking to people about, and I hear more and more pastors, more and more athletes, more and more Christians talk about, is we have to affect it at a generation at a time, because we got a group of parents right now who are unchurched. If we don't reach this next generation with the gospel, if we don't start them out at a young age and take them through, we're going to lose not only a generation of young people, but a generation of leadership.
Yeah, no, I agree. And one of the things, you know, when God put that in my heart, it takes the generation to change a generation, is we really need to understand and equip young people. And one of the things that I believe the most is if we equip young people nowadays, today, this generation that we see growing up, these students that are growing up, obviously extreme sports, you know, action sports, everything that's out there, you know, they really need to know and understand, young people, that they can make a difference in their generation now. I love being a youth pastor. I love imparting in the young people. But nothing excites me more is when I see these young people that we're pouring our lives into really take a hold of ministry in the vision and call in their life. And that's what's going to change not only them, but change their generation when it becomes the very thing that's coming off of their tongue, you know, the voice of the gospel, and that they're using the gifts and the talents that they're giving them to impart into their generation. Even today, you know, a lot of people think, you know, young people, you got to be raised up and you got to become a leader. And when you get this age, I believe young people can minister the gospel right now and make a very large impact in a generation.
Youth Pastor Roger Matzke is our guest from the Sanctuary in Orange County, a very interesting church. And if you want more information about him and his ministry, you can go to mysanctuarychurch.com, or you can find him on Facebook anytime, or on twitter.com as well. Just look up Roger, Matzke. And Roger, you have a very interesting situation there. Got a lot of guys that have experience in the sports world. You were a competitive surfer. Your lead pastor, Jay Hazlip, a pro skateboarder. Brian Sumner, who we've had on this program, a pro skateboarder, working with youth there. Christian Asoy, a pro skateboarder. Talk about that dynamic.
Yeah, man, it is exciting. I'll tell you what, it's a youth pastor's dream. You know, when you have all these, all the talent that's out there, and you know, God's really used that not only in our community but in our church. Just that dynamic of young people kind of wanting the fame, wanting the sponsorships, because Orange County, for those that don't know, is like the hub of skateboarding, surfing, this whole action sport deal, and it's just exciting to see that God's using the testimony of my senior pastor, Christian Assoy, Brian Sumner, to really impart into them and to let them know, hey, you can desire these things, man. You can want to surf, skate, and you can use these tools to bring glory to God. And these guys have been able to minister that to young people where they can recognize, hey, we can do it the right way. We can serve God and still have a desire to live passionately for the things that we desire to do.
Roger Matzke, youth pastor, Sanctuary Church, former professional surfer, and now working for years as a youth pastor in Orange County at the Sanctuary. And for more information on their ministry, and if you are out that way, listening on one of our 200 stations or on AFR.net streaming live, you can go to mysanctuarychurch.com and check out what they're doing. And you have a not an atypical past in terms of your testimony, Roger. I mean, a lot of us and a lot of people out there experimented with drugs and alcohol in their high school and college years. It's become more prevalent with young people today. The statistics aren't going down. It's a real problem that we have to find a way to address. And the other thing that we do at Sold Out is, we're actually instituting drug and alcohol programs in our public schools from grade school to high school, because, as you know, one of the major cuts in schools today, something that I've been very adamant about, and I know you're concerned about, is when we cut out physical education and extracurricular activities, we really cut the legs out from under our young people in terms of challenging them to be everything that they can be. And we know that by being in better physical condition, our mind works better, our spirit is aroused. Now, you had a drug and alcohol past. To parents that are out there, many of them that listen to our program, talk about your experience and how you came through that, and your focus in this area today in terms of where you're ministering.
Yeah, growing up in the surf culture, we were kind of, we were looked at as more of, surfers had this clean cut, all American, we just ran the beach. But, I got involved in that whole scene, and I tried a lot of ways to get out of drugs and alcohol. Being a surfer and an athlete, I knew that affected my ability to perform, at the highest potential that I had, and just nothing worked. And I just know the day I gave my life to Jesus Christ and I really put my trust in Him, God gave me that ability to overcome. And it's exciting that, we as ministers and what we do, we have that opportunity to share that to the heart of young people. And, it was when I gave my life truly to Jesus Christ and I allowed Him to have full control that I was able to overcome. I tried to live clean. Programs didn't work for me, but getting with people that believed in me, giving my life to Jesus Christ, and surrounding myself around folks that were living right and doing the right thing really made a difference for me. And that's why I'm excited about what the church is doing for young people, is creating that environment to really stand next to them and mentor them. One of the things I believe is we're releasing an Elisha generation that we're really to impart into this younger generation to really succeed in all that God's called them to do.
And you hit a key point, Roger, too. The thing that we don't realize is that who you hang around makes a big deal of difference with young people. The positive and negative peer pressure aspect in our campuses today is prevalent. There is no in between. Following a positive example or you're following a negative one. It's so important that we develop leadership on the campuses, starting in grade schools, junior highs, and high schools, so that when these kids do start college, where indoctrination happens from the world, that they have some tools coming in by which they can protect themselves and protect their friends. And let's not kid ourselves. And this as a pastor, this isn't a problem that's just prevalent with non-Christians. This is a problem that's prevalent inside our church as well.
Yeah, no, I agree. Sometimes it's even more prevalent in the church, and that's why we're one thing that that we do just here locally is young people are looking for truth. When I grew up as a young person, I didn't want anybody to beat around the bush. Give it to me, tell me the way it is. And I believe as ministers, when we really in the church, if we don't dance around these issues that our young families are facing, Christian families are facing, we really speak truth into the heart of a generation. They receive it. They're looking for direction. Their hunger and desire for direction is there. Sometimes we just kind of dance around it. We really don't give them solid truth, solid answers to change. And that's Jesus Christ, but really speaking that into their life. I love young people, and it would be a disservice for me to not speak truth into the life of young people when I have the words that can change their situation.
When we come back from the break, we're going to talk more with youth pastor Roger Matzke, and we're going to talk to him about extreme sports. We're going to talk to him about professional surfing, the impact that in California, especially where extreme sports got its start, the impact that he's having and some of the techniques that they're using out there to spread the gospel. So we'll look forward to talking to him more when we come back. Now, if you want to get hold of us here at Sold Out Sports Talk, there's a new way you can get that done. We've got a new iPhone app and a new iPad app. So if you've got an iPhone or iPad or a Droid phone, all you have to do is go to AFR Talk, download our free application, and you can hear this program live. You can hear it taped on our Clips programs, or any other program in our American Family lineup is available for you. Also, you can catch us on our Twitter page at Roman Gabriel 3 RD or at Sold Out 41. If you want to find out more about this interview, we'll post like we normally do. Jeff, my producer, will post this interview like our other ones where you can send people to it. Sometimes you're doing things on Saturday nights, but there's no excuse for you not to get your kids here and not to listen to it either on the iPhone or Droid apps or on the iPad app, or you can go to the archive at Sold Out Sports Talk on AFR.net, hear any of our interviews from the past 8 weeks. So parents, send your kids there. When we come back, more with Roger. We'll talk about extreme sports right here on AFR Talk.